You have probably seen it by now. Someone on TikTok drops chia seeds into a glass of water, waits 10 minutes, and drinks the whole thing. They call it an internal shower, a gut cleanse, a natural detox. The videos have hundreds of millions of views combined, and people are doing this every single morning, thinking they are doing something good for their bodies. And look, I get the appeal. Chia seeds are a whole grain. They are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, protein, and minerals. On paper, they look like one of the healthiest foods you could eat. So what is the problem? This week, a company called NYO3 issued a public warning that improperly prepared chia seeds can actually be dangerous. They expand to 12 times their original size when they absorb liquid. If you swallow them dry or partially hydrated, they can continue expanding inside your esophagus or your digestive tract, potentially causing blockages that in some cases have required medical intervention. But here is the thing. This is not really a story about chia seeds. This is a story about something much bigger that almost nobody is talking about. Why are millions of people turning to TikTok trends for health advice in the first place? Why is a 15-second video from someone with no medical background more trusted than a conversation with a doctor? And what does it say about the state of nutrition in the modern world that people are desperately searching for any hack, any trend, any shortcut to feel better in their own bodies? I have been thinking about this a lot, because I think the chia seed trend is not really about chia seeds. It is about desperation. It is about millions of people who feel terrible every single day and do not know why. They are exhausted. Their digestion is a mess. Their skin is breaking out. Their joints ache. Their brain feels foggy. And instead of getting real answers, they are getting a 15-second video that says put some seeds in water and drink it. The truth nobody wants to hear is this. You cannot fix a broken diet with a single superfood. You cannot undo years of ultra-processed food with one glass of chia water. And you cannot bypass the fundamental biology of how your body actually works just because a video went viral. Let me explain what I mean by that. In 2025, published research confirmed that approximately 60% of the average American diet consists of ultra-processed food. That is not an opinion. That number comes from peer-reviewed studies using dietary recall data from thousands of participants. 60%. More than half of what the average person eats every day is manufactured food that has been chemically modified, preserved, colored, flavored, and engineered for shelf life and addictive taste rather than human nutrition. And what does the published science say about ultra-processed food? A 2024 umbrella review examining dozens of meta-analyses found consistent associations between high ultra-processed food consumption and increased risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, depression, and all-cause mortality. The data is not ambiguous. It is not emerging. It is published, replicated, and consistent across multiple populations. So when someone who eats a 60% ultra-processed diet adds chia seeds to their morning water and expects to feel transformed, they are not fixing the problem. They are decorating the problem. They are putting a fresh coat of paint on a house with a cracked foundation. And that cracked foundation is what the Metabolic Files exists to investigate. Here is a number that changed how I think about food. In 1992, a researcher named Bruce Tainio measured the bioelectrical frequency of the human body and the food it consumes. Fresh organic food measured between 20 and 27 megahertz. Essential oils measured between 52 and 320 megahertz. Processed food? Zero. Absolute zero. Electrically dead. And we are building our bodies from it. Now I want to be honest with you, because that is what this channel is built on. The claims about specific frequency thresholds for disease, like cancer starting at 42 megahertz, are controversial and not fully validated by mainstream peer-reviewed research. Tainio's work was referenced by Johns Hopkins, but it has not been replicated at the scale that mainstream science typically requires. I am telling you that because the Metabolic Files does not hide the limitations of the data it presents. You deserve to know what is established, what is emerging, and what is still being debated. But here is what is not debatable. Ultra-processed food is making people sick. The published evidence is overwhelming, and no amount of chia seeds stirred into a glass of water will fix that. What will fix it is understanding something that most people have never been told. Your blood is not permanent. It is being rebuilt right now as you listen to this. Your bone marrow produces roughly 200 billion new red blood cells every single day. Every red blood cell in your body lives for about 120 days, and then it dies and is replaced. In 4 months, the blood circulating through your veins is completely new. That means you are not stuck with the body you built from last year's diet. You have a window, a 120-day window, where every meal, every glass of water, every choice about what you put into your body is sending raw materials to your bone marrow. And your bone marrow builds whatever it is given. Feed it living nutrition, and the new cells reflect that. Feed it dead, processed, zero-frequency material, and the new cells reflect that instead. So no, a glass of chia water is not the answer. But the question it represents, the question of how do I feel better in my own body, that question is valid. And the answer is not a trend, it is biology. It is understanding that your blood rebuilds itself every 120 days, and that the quality of that rebuild depends entirely on what you give your body to work with. That is what the Metabolic Files investigates. Episode after episode. Source after source. Because the truth is not in a TikTok trend. The truth is in the research. And the research says your body is a self-healing system that is waiting for you to stop poisoning the rebuild. If this changed how you think about what you eat, drop the word food in the comments. And if someone you care about is following health trends without understanding the biology behind them, share this with them. They deserve to know. The truth is out there.